What is up, bros and barettes? I'm Slasher44, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 score streaks or kill streaks, whatever you want to call them, in Black Ops 3. Now, this is a very, very personal preference. Out of probably all the top 5 lists I'll do, this is probably up there as number 1 of the most personal preference. Reason being, there isn't much stats I can give you based on kill streaks other than the points they take to get and my experiences that I've had with them. So, that being said, I think I have a pretty good list set up here and some pretty good reasons why I have them at those positions, and I hope you can find this helpful. And if you do, a like rating would be super greatly appreciated, and let me know that you want to see more top 5 lists. So if you want to see more top 5s or have any ideas of top 5s you want to give, hit that like button. It would be super greatly appreciated, and let me know in the comment section below of some more top 5 lists you would want to see. So without further ado, let's get into it and check out what number 5 is. So coming in at number 5, we have the UAV, and I know this is kind of a cop-out, it's been in every Call of Duty game, blah blah blah, but the reason why I have it on this list is because if we look at all the other score streaks in the game, they take a lot of points to get, not only the UAV, but a lot of other things, and you need to really analyze what you're going to get the most bang for your buck for. So the UAV costs 500 points, and I find that this generally gets me, depending on what game mode I'm playing, probably 3 to 5 gun kills with this thing on, just because it lets you know where the enemy team is. It seems like not too many people use ghosts, which is very surprising to me, but the thing you can compare this to is the Hater, because the Hater is kind of like a orbital VSAT. We've had it in many Call of Duty games before, and it makes them appear on the map, but the thing is both of these things, the UAV and the Hater, can be shot down. So there's no point in using a Hater when it almost lasts the exact same amount of time, does kind of the same thing. The only difference is it shows where the enemies are pointing, and you can shoot both of them down. One costs 500 points, and one of them costs 1,200. So that just shows you how good the UAV is for the points you're spending, because you can almost get 3 UAVs for the price of 1 Hater. So until the Hater gets patched and you can't shoot it down, the UAV is much better, and that's why it comes in at number 5. So coming in at number 4, I have the Lightning Strike. So the Lightning Strike is really good and really underused. On this list, this is probably going to be the one you'd least expect, but I think the most underrated on this list is the Lightning Strike. The reason being, this thing is 100% oodles and oodles better than the Hellstorm, which so many people use in this game. So the Hellstorm costs 800 points, whereas the Lightning Strike costs 750 points. The Hellstorm is kind of condensed to one area, even though you can kind of expand that area depending on when you detonate the Hellstorm missile, whereas the Lightning Strike you can put in 3 areas on the map and cause 3 separate explosions, therefore extending the radius of where you can get kills, whereas if you use a Hellstorm missile, you can only kill people in one area, which means the only way you're going to get a bunch of kills with this thing is if they are all bunched together, whereas with the Lightning Strike, they can be anywhere on the map, spread out completely, and you can get multiple kills, and that's why I think the Lightning Strike is better, not to mention it costs less score to get. So getting into the next one here, we're getting into the higher score streaks. Reason being, the ones that are going to be better in the game are going to cost more score. Obviously, like if you look at something like the HCXD, generally speaking, you're only going to get 1 kill with that, whereas the higher score streaks, you're expected to get many kills with them. So this one is the RAPS Warship. So this one is basically dogs. That's the way you have to look at this. If you played past Treyarch games, this is essentially dogs. Basically, a ship comes in and drops RAPS all onto the field, and they're these little rolly balls that roll around exploding people's faces. Now, there's a couple problems with the RAPS Warship. If you're playing against a good team, they can either shoot the RAPS Warship out of the air, which isn't great, or they can shoot and explode the little balls. Now, this seems like a problem, but so many of these balls drop in. When you're playing against stupid people, this gets you so many kills. In fact, I find it getting more kills than the huge kill streaks like the GI unit or the mothership. Well, the mothership just gets a ton of kills, but it's so hard to get, which is why those aren't even on the list. The GI unit and the mothership are not on this list. I'm spoiling it right now, because if you look at something like the RAPS, it's going to get just as many, if not more, kills than the GI unit, which is 1,600 points, whereas the RAPS is 1,300 points. If you look at the mothership, it's 1,700 points, whereas the RAPS is 1,300 900 points, so it's that much easier to get and almost gets you just as many kills. And I believe that they are going to be patching the wraps so that they can't shoot the ship out of the sky. They can only explode the little balls, which isn't always the easiest thing in the world to do. So the wraps is very, very good. Again, one I think is underrated because you can simply explode the balls, but this thing is going to get you probably 6 kills, maybe more sometimes, whereas if you use the GI unit, I have never had a GI unit get me more than 6 kills, so that's saying a lot. So coming in at number 2 is the Wally bot, aka the Cerberus. I just like to call it the Wally bot because essentially it is a Wally bot from the movie. So this thing is actually really good, and the reason why it comes in at number 2 is it only costs 900 points, which is very, very low in this game for a score streak that can generally get you upwards of 5 kills if you use it properly. Now, it does take time to call in, which kind of sucks, but once you call it in, it's like a mini tank. Basically, you can roll around in this thing, and it just picks up kills, and it's very hard for the enemy team to kill because it drops the enemy so damn fast. It's a very, very good kill streak, and the reason why it's so high on this list is it just doesn't take much to get whatsoever, so you can get a lot of kills for a very few amount of points. Like I said earlier, the most bang for your buck. That is why this kill streak is so damn good. Coming in at number 1, the top dog this week, we have the Wraith. Now, a lot of you are going to hate me for putting this on the list. A lot of people don't like it because it can be shot down. But this thing is so fucking good. I don't care what any of you say. It's like the Harrier from Modern Warfare 2. I love this thing. Not only because it gets me a lot of kills, I don't have to touch it once I call it in. Once I call it in, it just does its own work. And some of these kill streaks in this game, when you don't help them out, something like the Talon, I find it gets me no kills whatsoever. Whereas if we look at something like the Wraith, you call it in, it's just up there, it is picking people off. Not to mention the sound it makes, and it's just sitting up there, getting you a ton of, it feels so good to call this thing in. I love the Wraith, and it's only 1100 points, which in this game really isn't that high. Like I said, if you look at the mothership, it's 1700 points, which is just insane. It's such a high amount of points to get. I think I've only got 2, 3, maybe 4 motherships in this game, and they do get you a lot of kills. Don't get me wrong, they're very, very good. They're so damn hard to get, whereas the Wraith, I can get one maybe every 3rd to 4th game. Like, it's not too hard to get these things, even when I'm not trying too hard. If you try really hard, you should be able to get one of these things every game, but when I'm just listening to a podcast, or listening to some music and playing some COD, these things aren't too hard to get, and it's not unexpected for you to get one of these things, which is really, really good, and it gets you a lot of kills, and it feels so good when you call them in, and that's why I put it at number 1. But what I want to hear is, I want to hear your list in the comment section below, just like whenever I do a top 5, rank them down, like rate 5, whatever it is, 4, whatever it is. I want to hear your list in the comment section below, and I'll try to read as many of them as I can. I generally read every single one, to be honest with you, so check that out in the comment section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it for more top 5 videos. Check me out on Twitter, link in the description. Subscribe for new Call of Duty videos every single day. And until next time, guys, peace out!